This is Tristan Martin. He's been watching my videos here on YouTube for over a year, and a few months ago he reached out asking to work together. Tristan writes some of the most raw, emotional music I have ever heard, so I jumped at the chance to work together.
As you levy, hold your head, as we buried our feet in the sand. Such a memory, uncharted from.
Now, in the past few years as a music producer, I've worked with dozens of artists, but this project turned out to be unlike anything I've done before. Let me give you a bit of context. Tristan has been working with Nato Kitsch, an incredibly talented young producer from Australia. From what I understand, he's been producing instrumentals for Tristan, so he initially asked me to mix and master one of his songs. But when I took a listen to the current version, what I heard was untapped potential.
What is the meaning? Should I even try? Instead I would trade to push down what's inside.
Everything in there sounded really cool, but to me it just didn't go far enough. So I thought it needed more than just mixing and mastering to be as good as it could possibly be. Normally this is a conversation I'd have with the artist, but since Tristan has been watching the channel for a long time and I knew that we clicked really well musically, I thought it might be more fun to surprise him.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it sure as hell was not there.
So I agreed to mix and master the song, and then I secretly added a bunch of production layers, including completely changing the second verse. And I filmed how I did it, of course. So you're about to see that process. Then I'll show you the final song and Tristan's reaction to it at the end of the video. Okay, so I have my mixing session set up. Basically all of the tracks are routed to mixer tracks, and they're all organized and color-coded and pretty. So before starting, I listened through and I just took some notes about where the song's at and where I want to take it. Despite everything I just said, when I'm coming into a song later in the process instead of at the very beginning, the way I approach things is a little different. I'm just asking myself what's already working and how can we make that even better? But I don't just mean vocal sounds nice, let's make it sound nice. It goes a lot deeper than that. There's three things I wanted to address in this one. Number one, the emotion in the lyrics and in the vocal delivery is insane. Right now, the production doesn't match that intensity. Number two, Tristan's vocals move between beauty and pain in a stunning way, and I want that to be mirrored in the production. If you don't understand what I mean, have a listen to his vocals at the end of the chorus. There's this moment of grit in his raspy delivery, followed by this beautiful harmony. I want this kind of back and forth to be all over the production as well. Number three, the current production and songwriting has this wonderful sense of urgency, and I just want there to be more.
Don't let the light go, looking at the sky. I'm feeling my eyes roll back to my head as I hit the edge of the bed. It's the same cycle.
You hear how the vocals and the guitars just keep chugging and moving and there's no space to breathe? I love that. It almost sounds like the onset of a panic. It fits the theme of the song so well, and I just want to heighten that drama. So I started by recording a few extra layers with these three things in mind, starting with these string sounds. So I'm gonna layer those up with some real strings, and I'm gonna distort those. So I'm gonna get this freaky distorted string sound. Again, that pain and beauty thing, it's gonna have this real sense of beauty because strings are beautiful, but it's also gonna be this kind of rough sound that's gonna have that juxtaposition just buried in there. Let's record this in. All right, and viola. All right, just kept it nice and simple. Let's see how that sounds. By the way, I made a sample pack of me sliding between notes like this on the violin. There's a free and a paid version. If you're interested, just click the link in the description. There'll be more info there. Okay, now I'm gonna crunch the absolute crap out of the synth strings. Oh yeah. Nice. And I'm just gonna add a little reverb for the strings here. Must be right color. Yeah, that now has just kind of the bite that it was missing before.
Baby, our love just wants it to die.
That moment is so beautiful that I want to emphasize it more, and I think I'll do that with strings actually. I'll kind of just double the vocal harmony parts with some strings. So we'll have this first little slide go.
Hi, baby, our love just wants
Yeah, that'll be real beautiful. I think that's worth doing.
Baby, our love just wants it It's my love.
I'm just gonna remove these. We have our moment of grit here, and then we just fade into beauty. Grit, and then yeah, it's all about that contrast, that push and pull.
And also the guitars, they're kind of rough and scratchy and scrappy sounding. I actually like that in the verse. It just works nicely for me. There's a nice balance between the guitar and the vocal in the verse.
Don't let the light go.
But in the chorus, in my mind, it just needs to be layered up.
Even tell me you're fine. Don't stop.
I want to keep that scrappy sound, but I also want to add some like warmer guitars in there that just fill things out a bit more. So here I'm going for like a really clean, high fidelity guitar sound. I'm using a stereo pair of pencil condensers, Shure KSM 137s. Yeah, if you want acoustic guitars to sound really awesome and hi-fi, I really recommend stereo recordings. All right, let's do this. Let's do the first verse. So we should have most of what we need now to get this song done, but of course if I need to record something else, not a big deal.
So check out the difference. Here was the intro before, and here is the after. That's just not the kind of thing you can achieve only with mixing. So now that it was feeling right, I just did a rough mix of everything in there while I still had some objectivity. As you'll see, I jump all over the place when I mix, and I continue to add production layers when I just get an idea. I started though with just panning and volume to get the balance right.
Fine. Don't stop me from leaving everyone what's inside.
Pan these two risers.
Next, we moved into actual processing, starting with reverb, EQ, compression, especially on vocals.
I'm gonna start with like my usual reverb sounds, and then we'll switch it up if necessary, but I use this vocal hall reverb all the time for, well, vocals.
Don't let the light go. I'm feeling my mind. I've been chasing a bit of rock with a hard body.
Definitely needs some de-essing.
Don't let the light go. Looking at the sky.
All right, let's get these doubles sitting right.
And
I'm gonna take away a bit of presence around 5K, 2 to 5K. Balance these. I want to clear some space in the bass when those legato strings come in. The SSL channel strip from Waves has this great backing vocals preset that I'm gonna use as a starting point here. Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Don't let the light go. Looking at the sky, I'm feeling my eyes.
I also just realized I haven't touched these guitars. I'm just gonna do some really transparent compression on here. I
had to cut out a lot of the nitty-gritty details of the mixing to keep this video from being insanely long, but if you're interested in that sort of stuff, I will be posting my mixing process for this as a members-only video. So if you want access to exclusive, more in-depth content like that, just hit the join button below to become a channel member. Things were going too smoothly, so I decided to mix things up a little bit and basically got rid of all of the instruments at the start of verse 2, just to see what it would sound like.
So you'll hear I've completely cut away the guitars at the start of verse 2. And now that's for a reason. So one thing I really want to explore is the bass. I think there's just not, there's wasted potential here.
Goodbye, the amount of letters that I've wrote and burnt on fire.
Not quite, but almost. There should be a kick in here, shouldn't there? I think so. Yeah, just need things to hit more.
To push down what's inside, throw it anyway. So I go, tell me where even. So I go, tell me where even. When I hope, when I leave, I turn to I go.
Okay, so just a little refining to this bass part here. I changed the sound out to this Serum. We'll start with a preset, then I did a little modification to it, but it sounds like this now. I think it's sitting a lot better.
Goodbye, the amount of letters that I've wrote.
They start to build up here.
To stay, I can't stop crying, I'm just trying to.
So we need to make these areas hit a little bit more. I'm gonna get a kick in here. We need a kick so bad. Let's start with this really like subby kick.
Goodbye, I feel like goodbye, the amount of letters that I've wrote.
Yeah, it's really nice. That just blends with the 808 a little bit.
I stop crying, I'm just trying to cope. I feel like
we're gonna have the kick with more of an attack joining in when we get to the chorus. Yeah, so the kick before the chorus sounds like this, and then the chorus sounds like this. Yeah, exactly what we're going for. Just a little riser. Actually, that might be cool. Tremor riser there. Yeah, it's cool. And then impacts. This guy. Just go for the lower pitch one, maybe.
I finished this section out late at night and I forgot to record, but I basically just added these atmospheric sounds to really make it come to life.
Goodbye, the amount of letters that I've wrote and burnt on fire.
This breakdown in verse 2 and the build after it are my absolute favorite part, so I don't want to spoil it too much right now, but of course you'll hear it at the end of the video in the final song. At this point the song was really taking shape, but I still spent a bunch of time obsessing over random little bits of the production to just try to pull the very best out of them. The main thing I spent way too long on were these piano plinks from NATO's production.
Let's do a little panning automation on them. I just want to have a bit more creative fun with it, and whenever I just want to do creative effects, I use this plugin called Beam by Lunacy Audio. That's cool. Space. That's panning. God, this thing's crazy. Alright, it's very cool in isolation. Let's hear in context. Needs to fade out.
There was just one last thing bugging me. So we created so much buildup and tension in the second verse, so it really needed a major payoff in the final chorus. To do that, I continued some of the elements like the synth bass and just added a few more layers to just make it go crazy.
Alright, good for now. I really want a little choir. Just copy it from the bass part to save a bit of time.
Tell me we're even, tell me you're fine. Don't stop me from leaving everyone behind. What is the meaning? I'm just trying to cope. I feel like dying, I'm so fucking hope. When I leave, I turn to it.
I'll do a nice gradual fade throughout this whole pre-section like we've done for like everything else.
I'm just trying to cope. When I hope, when I leave, I turn to it. Goes to last goodbye.
I need another impact there.
Is my last goodbye.
Just had the idea of putting the ever so slightest amount of RC20 on the guitars.
It's the same cycle. I don't mind, why don't I mind what I've been?
Kind of like that. Totally changes the frequency balance though. I have an idea.
So that was basically it. I just did some really simple mastering, and then I sent it to Tristan and I asked him to film his reaction listening to it for the first time. Before I play it though, if you want me to produce your song, then click the first link in the description where you can head to my website, listen to some of my work, and get in touch. I won't surprise you, by the way, just to be clear, this was very much a one-off. So, the final song. I'm gonna alternate between Tristan's demo mix that he sent me and the final thing so you can hear the difference. If you wanna listen to the full song, uninterrupted, then check out Tristan in the description and go support him. He's so amazing. He ended up releasing both this version and a more stripped down acoustic version. But anyways, here's the final song. You can react to it alongside Tristan.
I just got the song back from Lucas and I'm geeking out. This is literally, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard it. This is the first time I'll be hearing it. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna press play.
Welcome to Twilight Boulevard.
Don't let the light go, looking at the sky. I'm feeling my eyes roll back to my head as I hit the edge of the bed. It's the same cycle. Oh, I don't mind, why don't I mind what I've been chasing a bit of rock with a hard bottle as I try to give it up, and I can't stop. Tell me we're even, tell me you're fine. Don't stop me from leaving everyone behind. What is the meaning? Should I even try? Instead I would drink to push down what's inside, throwing it away while love getting high. Maybe our love just don't want it to die. It's my last goodbye. The amount of letters that I've wrote and burnt on fire. The amount of road that I've thrown to stay. I can't stop crying, I'm just trying to cope. I feel like dying, I'm so fucking close. I keep on shocking this blood on my clothes. When I hope, when I leave, I turn to a ghost. Tell me we're even, tell me you're fine. Don't stop me from leaving everyone behind. What is the meaning? Should I even try? Instead I would drink to push down what's inside, throwing it away. I love getting high. Maybe our love just not wanting to die. So here's my last
My goodness, bro. I don't know what I was expecting, but it sure as hell was not that. And that is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm literally crying, bro. I literally have no feedback. Literally. Like, I have feedback, but it's all good. Everything's perfect, bro. Like, the craziest thing about it is I was not expecting that. Literally, I was not expecting that. And that is literally perfection. I'll listen to that shit again.